Okay, there's no easy way to put this, but I am leaving WatchCrunch. This is going to be probably the toughest video I make on this channel, but I think you guys deserve to know a little bit of the backstory. Some might find this as a bit of a cautionary tale for the young creators in this space, but I also really want to focus on the future and some really exciting projects that we're building that's coming up. So let's get into it. So it was about 3 years ago during the pandemic. I had a YouTube channel. It was called Hot Ones. The old timers out there, you might remember. And I was approached by a business person who said that they were starting to build a website for watch discussions. And they asked if I wanted to kind of join and really be like the face of this new project. At the time, I was getting pretty tired of using Watch You Seek, and I thought, this is not a bad idea, right? But I was like, you got to make it into an app, and you have to let me have some creative input on how this thing is built. So that was sort of the agreement. Over the ensuing 3 years, I think we've built something great, and I, have really kind of wrestled and tried to steer this in a direction where I felt like it served the community, and I'm proud of it. But of course, as with any business relationship, there's friction and there are disagreements. Really, the straw that broke the camel's back was recently I was told that we needed to monetize the platform and we needed to do it quick. Totally understandable, right? It costs money to run these platforms, and you got to generate revenue. But to me, monetization, even if it's inevitable, needed to be done delicately, and it needed to be done with a lot of consideration for the people, right? The community that we built. What followed was a number of conversations. I got to a point where I realized that we really weren't aligned on the next phase. And I can just summarize by saying it's a classic kind of dichotomy between a creative person and a business person. So I felt like it was time for me to take a step back and focus on other projects. So I guess the word of caution here is that if you are a young creator in the space, you're going to get a lot of things thrown in your face, whether that would be product or money. And I would just say be very careful who you work with. And if there's a contract involved, read it very carefully. Probably have a lawyer take a peek, because you really want to be protected even if things go south. For example, I am losing my Instagram account. That's going to go back with WatchCrunch. But you know what? I fought tooth and nail, and we still have the YouTube channel, and that's going to become the Anachronist YouTube channel going forward. What is Anachronist? Well, Anachronist was really born out of my desire to connect with other people in the watch space. So it started out as a podcast where I interviewed about a dozen people that I really wanted to connect with, like Evan, you're terrific, right? Andrew Morgan. We could always cut it out. Marshall, wristwatch revival.
You use a loop, you have to get about this close to the workpiece.
I decided to start bringing some of my friends into the fold to make videos because it's always more fun to make videos with other people than by yourself. So we brought Caden in for long form. We brought Josh in for short form. And we're probably going to recruit another 1 or 2 people because I do think that it provides more value for you guys as the viewer to hear the opinions of multiple people. Think of it as like old Top Gear, right? You might get a Jeremy video or a Richard video, but sometimes they work together, sometimes they do individual segments. Anachronist is also the name of our shop where you can find the patent pending Zero Pass strap that I designed. As much as I'm trying to put on a positive face through all this, it's a sad day, right? I've poured my heart and soul into WatchCrunch over the last 3 years, and in some ways it feels like I'm abandoning all the people that I brought there. But I tried to maintain some sort of working relationship there, and it just didn't look like it was going to happen. So I was confiding in one of my watch creator friends about this, and he had a great idea. He said, why don't you create a Discord server? and I was playing around over the weekend. I was actually able to build a pretty cool Discord server, and it's going to be free to use. You can come talk about watches, make friends. We have sections on modern watches, vintage watches, micro brands, etc. There will be a premium tier. It will be about $10 a month. You'll get a lot out of that $10 a month. For example, there will be monthly perks. So for the month of May, you'll get a $30 gift certificate to anachronist.shop. We'll call this the Inner Circle. So Inner Circle members will also have access to the for sale section. So you can have watch transactions with known quantities. Early looks into the collab watches that we're working on, and first dibs to buy them. I'm actually working on one right now with a brand that I think a lot of you guys will really love. So the idea is to give you overwhelming value for that $10 a month. And I just want to finish by saying a quick thank you. Thank you to 3 groups of people. To my creator friends who have been there for me over the last few weeks. As you can imagine, this wasn't the most pleasant period of my life. Thank you to the founders of these watch brands. We've had dinner over the last couple years, and you guys' passion for watches and the stories of how you started these companies in your garage is really inspiring. And lastly, thank you to the viewers. Without you guys, none of this would be possible. And I really appreciate you coming on my watch journey with me. So next week, we're getting back to normal scheduled watch programming. I've got a Hamilton I really want to show you guys. Check the links in the description for all the things that we talked about. And yeah, take care.